Hey guys, it's Alex with Hammond Watch. I'm here today with the Islander Field Watch. It's the ISL 40, obviously the white dial variant. And when these watches were first released, I kind of slept on them. You know, I'm not a huge fan of the Islander logo. They sold out pretty quickly. I saw a lot of great feedback on them, so when the restock came through, I decided to pick one up. Figured I'd do a video and then kind of send it down the road, and honestly it's been a regular part of my rotation over the last 3 weeks. So I wanted to make sure I shared it with you and kind of give you my thoughts on the overall product. You have really nice sizing at a 39mm case. The thickness is 12.3 if you include the sapphire crystal. You have a very nice lug-to-lug of 48mm and a very standard 20mm lug width, meaning strap options are going to be plentiful. Yeah. That said, the stock strap is actually pretty nice. Tapers from 20 down to 17.5 and then jumps to 22 for the brushed buckle, which is signed with the Islander logo. It's a woven nylon that they stitched to leather, and it is a padded strap, so you've got about 3.5mm thickness. It's not big enough to be cumbersome, but it is substantial enough to hold the watch in place. So I'm a pretty big fan. The leather backing doesn't necessarily help with its water resistance, but at the same time it makes it feel more comfortable, and as long as you're not getting it wet frequently, it should help with the longevity of the strap. I'm also a big fan of putting the quick release pins on it. Field watches in general tend to be strap monsters, and with more and more aftermarket options offering this quick change, it's nice to see more and more stock watches doing the same thing, kind of eliminating the need for spring bar tools and just making it easier to play around. The case itself, it's all brushed except for a little tiny polished rim at the base of the fixed bezel, and then you're also polished on the display case back. You have some basic specification, 100mm sapphire, and then Islander and the Islander logo on the back. The watch itself, something pretty fun, is a sapphire sandwich. So both pieces of glass, including this backing, are sapphire, which is really nice. The one on top does get some anti-reflective coating on the underside, which really helps with that legibility. Screw down case back and screw down crown. The crown is probably one of the better executed at this price point. Screws in extremely smooth, very easy to operate. It's got a very nice size at 6.8mm, and you'll see they did incorporate the Islander logo there as well. When you do unscrew, the movement used is an NH36, so you do get hacking and hand winding. Basically that means as you unscrew it, once the crown pops out, you're able to wind the watch's movement to gain some added run time, or if you pull it all the way out for time setting, your seconds hand will stop or hack, allowing you to be a little bit more precise, and this is really good for keeping an eye on if your watch is running slow or fast and gauging when you need service. The NH36, it operates at -20 plus 40 seconds a day. So the star of this watch, at least to me, has to be the dial. Not only the color, I am a sucker for a white dial watch, but just the execution as well. You can see all of the printing is extremely crisp. They didn't overdo it with text. You kind of have everything you need and nothing you don't. And it's getting hard to find just flat white dial watches. Everything's got a silver tone to it or a sunburst that kind of modifies the color. And not that it necessarily detracts from the legibility. I just think a flat white looks very nice. Hamilton does a really good job of this with their khaki field, but that watch has half the water resistance and is double the price. So you're just not going to treat it quite the same as you would this particular piece. So I'm really pleased with the lume application. On some of the other colors, you do get the lume numerals as well. Being that it's black printing on a white dial, you only get the plots with this. But when you compare it to other field watches, I think it's right on par with everybody else. So here's the watch on my 7.5 to 7 3/4 inch wrist. It looks really good, you know, well proportioned, very handsome. The only thing that I don't really care for is that you can see the quick release pin through the lugs. It's a little bit unfortunate. You can't see it on the bottom, but on the top it's pretty apparent. It's just a little bit of an eyesore, but in general I don't wear it on the stock strap too much, so it's kind of an easy workaround. So all things considered, I think this is a killer deal. You know, these things run for 190 bucks. Again, they're available at longislandwatch.com. I'm not sponsored by them, didn't get any cool discounts for it, but I'll put a link below so you guys can have a look at the site. Mark also has his own YouTube channel, which is called Long Island Watch. Make sure you have a look. He goes over all of his Islander watches as he releases them, and he's been pumping out more and more variants. Kind of almost to the point that you wonder when he's going to start dropping other brands from his online store and really just being the Islander brand only moving forward. I feel like that's probably in the works, but you know, only time will tell. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. It really helps in YouTube's algorithm. Also consider subscribing. I put watch content out weekly, and I hope to see you in the next one.